Today I'm going to read from Volume 3 of my book, Annotations for the History of the Classical Guitar in Argentina, 1822 to 2000. It's a 4-volume series, weighs 21 pounds. It's available for $300, shipping worldwide. Today I'm going to talk about César Bo. His father, Emilio Bo, was a student of Antonio Jiménez Manjón, who died in Buenos Aires in 1919. It was Jiménez Manjón who ordered the guitar that came into the hands of Andrés Segovia in 1912. Show you a picture. It's from a concert on the 17th of August 1927 when he was 11 years old. He played Capriccio Arab by Tárrega, Chopin's Nocturne No. 2, Opus 9 No. 2, pieces by Arcus, Soar, etc., Wanna Lice, Un Momento. But the reason why I decided to do this today was I want to read this interview from the last quarter of 1928. It's an interview. César Bo, decades later, taught Juan Falú, the son of Eduardo Falú, how to play guitar. There are some recordings you can hear of César on YouTube. When I sent that packet of 30 pieces in a mix to Rico Stover, who passed away about 3 years ago, he said, "Wow, I didn't know he was that great of a player." He said, "Now I understand why Eduardo Falú sent his son Juan to study with him. The guy's a monster player." There are still TV shows that have not shown up on YouTube. Back in the 60s, César Bo would take 30 lady students that studied with him, and they would do a live TV show. Canal 13, Channel 13. But today I'm going to read the interview. It says, translation of the César Bo, guitarrista experto de 11 años, from the previous page. It's 11-year-old expert, and this is from the newspaper La Nacion, one of the well-known dailies of Buenos Aires. César Bo, guitarist, 11-year-old expert. Various times we have seen in the radio programs guitarist César Bo, guitar solos by César Bo in his varied program. Then tuning to the wavelength of the station that announced it, we listened to 1 or 2 or 3 pieces, a majority of them classics, later some of a different air of the criollo, another of Spanish regional music. Then we pick up the impression that it was a number one of a few guitars that come strong and clear on the radio. Up to here, it as always happens with the broadcasting artist, we ignore what face and how many years old César Bo is. Across the waves, he has come as a polished guitarist. On a night in a benefit of the Teatro Idal, we see a boy of 11 years old come out with a guitar that measures 20 centimeters. The boy, which in parentheses, applauded by the complete hall, it was the radio guitarist César Bo. In a private performance some days ago that was offered by the precocious guitarist, he was found in the presence of his first teacher. Then, meanwhile, the young Bo, as he is called by Ms. Rogelia Lozano, was tuning the strings one by one. To us, it features a sketch of the guitarist as a student, more intelligent than studious. I had him with me the entire year, she was telling us. He is more intelligent than applied. Overall, he lacks that. It was natural. After an evening of performing, he remained tired and didn't come to school, but when he decided to study, he assimilated everything right away. Now the most curious thing about him, on the other part explainable, was his premature maturity. He turned out distinctly from all other boys. While the others were playing, he saw them separated, and as if those games didn't interest him. He lived more so than others. He has known theaters, the public, applause, and instinctively he had to be placed above his own companions that went to his home, to private primary schools, and of the soccer field. Being the same age, they bring 10 years of experience in likes and maturity. The father has taught him since his first note, better said. The boy has learned by listening to his father play. From an age that can't be precise, 7, 6, 5 years, he played the guitar and tried to repeat everything he has heard. He wasn't forced to do the work. By that, his father tells us. I don't have to compel him to study, nor to him, neither does it cost him greatly. He heard me play a piece and he would repeat it almost equally right away. It began as a game. Afterward he showed such a disposition that it gave us a thing to take into account seriously. Then we had him dedicate some hours to study. One day, more than a year ago, he gave a concert in the Salon L'Argentina, and that was very celebrated. Since then, they have solicited him on a radio station, and they constantly ask him to appear in benefits. Besides that, now that he's a little bit older, he studies. I guided him, but he as well has a clear idea how to do things, and he doesn't perform the well-known pieces until he has taken every defect out of them. The guitarist is of a few words. When the performance ended and the applause quieted down, we spoke a little bit with the boy. He is sparing, synthetic, and not really a friend of long conversations. The dialogue, which it was reduced to the indispensable, was more or less this. You like to play? Yes, when it isn't hot. And you work on the radio? As well, some. More than in the theater? No, more in the theater. And there are more people. It pleases you. That they applaud? Yes, I like that very much. Why is that? The young guitarist remains a while thinking, after as a boy that has found the answer to an arithmetic problem and is going to write it on the blackboard, he explains. And because if they applaud me, it's a signal. They have enjoyed me. To me, I like people to like me. But even that, this boy that was born old takes it philosophically, since according to the father's story, when they applaud him and he says his thanks, the precocious guitarist responds without letting it be dragged by emotion. One doesn't have to be rushed. I expect they will applaud more. César Bo is a virtuoso. We have already said who he is, and as such, César Bo is. What his first steps in the art were, in which are the personal characteristics of the boy that is requested by the kindness of the radio audience. Now we might say that César Bo, the performer, doesn't need to be protected in his few years from who judge him that they might recognize a superior hierarchy. It's that, in effect, which corresponds. The technique has revealed to his will the most elusive secrets, and the firm fingering as a result of the clean and most agile places the guitarist to have become mature so early, a personal manner, a deep emotion without artifice, and a permanent seductive facility. It lets him hear the old motifs to reproduce, and the ear to discover them in the indefinable novelty that places the talent with its lively gust. So we see this program that I showed you a little bit ago. We're going to look at it again. Here's a picture from La Prensa of César holding his 11-string guitar. I believe that was made by Manuel Dominguez. I would have to double check on that. But we see Nacion, Argentina. Everybody played there. Miguel Yabet played there in August of 1910 with his 1859 Taurus guitar. Yeah, I'm going to show you a few photos. This is in 1965, Channel 13, César Bo with his students. Says this is a photo from the program that Bagley advertised their cookie products. There's a couple more photos. You see all the lady students. This is on a program called Musica en el Aire, Music on the Air, Channel 11, 1967. I can't wait for this stuff to show up on YouTube. Might take place after I pass away. I'm 73 years old. But hope springs eternally. Here we see more students on a TV show. Same program, Channel 11, this is 1967.